Long time no see, guys, and by long time I mean like 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I last uploaded, and back then we only just hit 1,000 subscribers, and now we're at like 5,500. That's nuts! We grew so much in just 2 weeks, you guys. That's insane. I didn't think that we'd hit 5,000 so soon. That's just crazy. I mean, we haven't even ended the giveaway or anything. Which, if you haven't entered that giveaway just yet, be sure to check out the last upload to see how you can enter to win a bunch of awesome freaking goodies, including a copy of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on your own choice of platform. Go do it while you can, before it ends. The contest ends whenever the new SpongeBob remake episode comes out, and so yeah, you've only got like a couple weeks left to go enter. So go do that right now, and then come back and watch this video. Assuming you've already entered the competition, hi guys, what's up? I'm Christian, and my channel's blown up so much in these last 2 weeks. And I've been getting a lot of comments in particular on those SpongeBob videos saying things like, oh, the entire cast of SpongeBob should see these videos. The producers at Nickelodeon should see these videos. And so that kind of brought up a video that I wanted to make a while ago back in January, but I just never got around to making it because I was depresso espresso at that point. But it's fine now. It's okay. I pushed my problems under the rug. It's alright. I took care of them. So I'm not exactly sure if the cast of SpongeBob have seen our remakes, but I know for a fact that a couple Nickelodeon producers have. So back in about mid-July, that sounds about right, it was about a month after we uploaded the Club SpongeBob remake, the official SpongeBob Twitter account had tweeted out something like, calling all SpongeBob superfans, we're looking for fans of all ages to participate in a 20th anniversary special. So me being the humorous guy that I am, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a shameless self-plug. I was totally plugging myself in. That's all I was doing. I was just self-advertising, really. I got a picture of the thumbnail and I put in a tweet with that saying, hey, I know a couple of SpongeBob superfans who would love to take part in this special. And I also included a link to the Club SpongeBob remake in that tweet. And so I hit send, and I didn't really expect much of it. Never did I ever think that Nickelodeon would be the guys who would actually click that link and watch our video. So the next day, they sent me a DM saying something like, hey, we really enjoyed what you made here and really want you to be a part of this special. Go ahead and send in an audition to this email address, and here are the rules for that audition tape that you need. And so I was like, okay, yeah, awesome. I'll make an audition tape. Why not? And I'll take my shot at this thing. So I ended up making like a 40-minute long audition to get onto this little SpongeBob special thing. And it was probably a bit of overkill to make it 40 minutes. The prompt was like, what does the show mean to you? What effects has it had on you growing up? And all that fun stuff. And so right before I even hit send to submit it, I was kind of like panicking because I'm like, oh man, what if this isn't good enough or something? What if I miss out on my chance to partake in whatever the special is going to be? I didn't really have a clue on what it was just yet. And so I was kind of panicking, and I sent the submission in, and they got back to me almost immediately, and they're like, awesome. It was pretty much like a guaranteed thing that you were going to be picked to be a part of this after that video that you made. We just needed you to send in a formal audition tape so that way we can get all the paperwork formally done and bring you onto the show. So I guess I didn't need to really worry too much about that. It's crazy that that they decided to bring me onto this secret SpongeBob anniversary project just because of a video that I jokingly tweeted at them. Totally trying to self-advertise right there. I'm not gonna lie, I was just trying to self-advertise. That's all that it was. So they got back to me more details of what the project was going to be, and they said that the shoot was going to take place at the end of August. I believe August 25th was the date that we were going to shoot. They said it was going to be like a Jeopardy-styled SpongeBob fan trivia special, and so it'd be like 2 people on an episode. They were gonna have, I believe, 5 or 6 episodes is what it was. It'd be 2 contestants on each episode, and so I had gotten picked to be one of these people to compete on the show, which was freaking awesome. I didn't realize that's what it was, but luckily for me, SpongeBob trivia is my forte. So yeah, if you guys remember back in October of last year, 2019, I made a vlog video called like Looking for Love in New York City or Searching for Love in New York City, one or the other. But at the beginning of the video, I talked about how I just finished filming something that I can't really talk about because at the time I couldn't. NDAs and all that, even though I didn't really sign anything, but still, you know, just better not to talk about it. I talked about filming something, and that's what I was talking about, was being a part of this Nickelodeon shoot right here, which was an absolute blast. Like I said, I meant to make this video back in January, and then it just kind of slipped off my radar, and I totally forgot about it until people started mentioning it in the comments, and I was like, oh, hey, now I got the perfect opportunity to bring this back and talk about this entire shoot. It was a fun little trip. It was probably the least stressful trip to New York that I had taken, despite the fact that I was despite the fact that I was there to film a thing with Nickelodeon, you know, being a big shot and all. It's kind of funny looking back on it that all 3 of my trips to New York have been solely for SpongeBob. The first trip I took back in February 2018 was to go see the SpongeBob musical. The second trip back in March of 2019 was to actually audition for the musical's tour, which, as I described in the last video, I was this close to getting cast. I was too tall to fit the costume, and so they ultimately didn't go with me. But that led to me remaking Club SpongeBob on the channel. That was pretty fun, and I think, honestly, it probably worked out a little bit better in the long run anyway. I mean, I've gotten to meet so many of you cool people, including my friend Beatrix, who lives in Germany. She left the sweetest comment I've ever read on the giveaway video, I believe. Just appreciating like everything that we did, and I don't think I've read a comment quite as sweet as that one. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying your copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom on the Xbox, and I hope you're kicking all sorts of robot butt. Yeah, I've gotten to meet so many wonderful people, so I say honestly, it's probably worked out for the best that I wasn't cast in that show, as much as a bummer as it was at the moment. And then of course this third trip in August 2019, I get to film with Nickelodeon. And so every New York trip I've taken has been about SpongeBob. So I'm planning on watching the video with you guys on my laptop and kind of doing a bit of a rundown on like what was happening behind the scenes, because there was a lot that they cut out from the final product. We filmed for like 2.5 hours, if I remember right. It was certainly over 2 hours. Yeah, I'd like to just take a moment to just sit with you guys and talk about all the behind the scenes stuff that unfortunately never made it to see the light of day. But yeah, I'd like to get started on that in just 1 second. So before we begin, I just want to make a quick little announcement that on July 5th at 8 a.m. Central Time, JT, who played Mr. Krabs in the Graveyard Shift remake, he and I will be playing through the entirety of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated in one sitting. So our goal is to try to platinum the game in one go. And I read online that it'd take about 15 hours to get that platinum trophy. So we're expecting the stream to go that long. So hopefully you guys are able to drop in here and there and say hi and watch the majority of the stream, or at least a solid chunk of it. You know, it'll be fun. JT and I are always a fun duo to pair up. You know, we bounce off each other really, really well. We're pretty much, we're just about the same person, and I want him on this project because I know that he appreciates SpongeBob just as much as I do. So I think he's the perfect guest commentator to have on me with that. So yeah, that'll be July 5th at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be on my Twitch account, at ChristianNotJ. So be sure to follow that, so that way whenever we do start streaming, you'll get the notification, you'll be able to hop right in with us and go on one hell of a journey. There's probably gonna be like an hour-long break in the middle of that, just so that way we can eat food and not die in the middle of the stream, because you know, we're streaming a game, not a snuff film or anything. So yeah, so do join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. I really think that everyone's gonna have a blast with that. Without further ado, let's get started. So yeah, the video that I'm a part of is Remember These SpongeBob, oh, there I am. Remember These SpongeBob song lyrics, SpongeBob Smarty Pants episode 4. And you may recognize a little someone here on the thumbnail. So let's get started and click. All right, here we go.
Krusty Crew, it's time for the greatest game show under the sea. This is SpongeBob Smarty.
Here I am.
I'm your host, Roy.
My awkward dance. I didn't want to just stand there perfectly still like a statue, so I was like, oh man, what should I do to kind of liven up the moment? So I just went to my default, I don't know what I'm doing movement, and I just just started twitching around. Let's get a playback on that.
I'm your host.
I mean, look at those moves. Wow. And you'll also notice that we happen to be dressed very similar. So while I was in the email process of talking to the producers and whatnot, I had asked them if I could wear the SpongeBob costume from the Club SpongeBob remake, because that was the only one that we had at the time. And they were like, yeah, definitely, bring it on to the show. We'd love for that. We'd love for you to have that. So I get to the waiting room over at the Viacom studio, And like I said earlier, there's 2 contestants in each episode, and so I'm in here with a couple other people, and they're all just wearing like just normal clothes, like what I'm wearing. Like they're dressed nice. Like as you can see, not dressed up in a costume. So I was the only goofball in this waiting room dressed up for the occasion. It kickstarted a joke between he and I. We'd be like, oh yeah, oh you shop there too? Oh no way. So that was really fun to poke around at. It was pretty fun. He and I, we were on the same wavelength. Like we just kept on going back and forth with every single joke that we'd make. Essentially the producers had to keep on telling us like, let's shoot that again, but let's tighten that up a bit. And so we'd continue on the same tangent that we were going on earlier, but then we'd spin it off in another direction, just keep joking that away. And then they'd have to tell us, okay, let's tighten that up again. And so we just take it in another direction. There's so much unused content between he and I that is absolutely hilarious that I really wish could have made it in there, but unfortunately they seem to have cut out a lot of the banter. But yeah, he was a really cool guy to work with irregardless. I mean like I said, we were on the same wavelength. There's something he and I just clicked and worked too well together. It was an absolute blast, and he was super down to earth, super fun. Yeah, so I've only got great things to say about the guy. He was a blast to work with. So Roy, if you're out there watching, hi.
aka Guava Juice, and I'm joined by my contestants, Katie and Christian. How you doing?
I'm trying to act like a supermodel being introduced. Hey, how we doing? Katie was pretty cool. She was actually
And I'm joined by my contestants, Katie.
Yeah, here she is. Yeah, she's an actual actress up in New York. While we were in the waiting room, she and I were talking. She had actually worked on a few off-Broadway projects, which was pretty cool. So we got to talk about kind of her trying to work her way through the Broadway world, essentially, and all the different shows that she's done. It was pretty neat. Super talented.
All right, we're gonna splash
And
right over to
she knew her SpongeBob stuff.
called the Jellyfish Jam Challenge. It's really easy. The person who can catch the most jellyfish in their net wins the round.
She was at quite a bit of a disadvantage. I love this frame that we stopped on, but she was at quite a disadvantage for this. So she's like, oh, well, I can balance books on my head, so this shouldn't be too hard for me at all. And I was thinking, yeah, catching jellyfish in a net on your head, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But, well, we'll get to it in just a second.
Aye, aye, Captain. All right, on my mark, get set, go.
So yeah, look at her just catch everything with ease.
Oh, that was a good one from
My
Katie.
dumbass is still behind.
3, 2, 1, time's up. Jellyfish is
So this was actually the footage of us catching the jellyfish right here was actually a reshoot because she just blew my ass out of the water in the initial shoot that she won even then. She like caught like 8 jellyfish or something like that, maybe 10. It was a tiny bit more than what was shown off here, but I only caught like 1 because my dumbass kept on trying to like hook it. So like I'd swing my head forward and then just fling the jellyfish that I caught right out of my net. So by the end of the shoot, I only had like 1 jellyfish in there because again, I was just flinging them right out of the net. So they're like, okay, let's just reshoot that so that way you don't look like a total failure.
The winner goes to Katie for round number 1.
Congrats, you didn't fling your
That
own
means,
jellyfish out of your
Katie,
net.
You get 50 points on the board. Christian, you're not in the lead. You have some time to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. I've got time to catch up, right? Right? So this is kind of the part where it worked a little bit more like Jeopardy.
Each of these locations
Oh,
feature
Krusty
a
Carol.
SpongeBob trivia question worth 100 points.
My long
Buzz in
lost
first,
love.
Answer question number 1. SpongeBob creator Steven Hillenburg
Alright, so
had this job
there's
before
something you'll
creating
notice
this
here.
iconic series. Katie,
Did you catch it? Did you catch what I did in this shot? Let's try that again. It's right behind my name tag. I just stand there like a freaking idiot, right? Right? Oh gosh, what the heck are you doing? That's the easiest question. So why would you just stand there like an idiot? Well, I'll get to that here in a moment.
Marine biologist.
Marine biologist is correct. All right, 100 points.
I'm looking
to
a little
Katie.
bit discouraged right there, but it's okay. You know, I still had hope at this point.
SpongeBob's pet Gary is a sea snail. But what family of animals do sea snails belong
All
to?
right, this is easy. And again, I just stand there, right? Right? I'm not doing anything. How crazy that I'm not answering these questions or that I'm super slow to all these easy answers.
Mollusk? Mollusk is right. Moving on to...
You can see my quick moment of disappointment. Yeah, this particular frame, this is important. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it real quick before we get into the next one, because I will forget that I do this right here. So my buzzer wasn't working while we were shooting this. They were aware that the buzzer wasn't reacting properly, so whenever they stuck us onto the pedestal, they're like, one of those buzzers aren't working, we're not sure which one, but just be sure to hit the buzzer really hard and it should work. So I'm over here and I'm slamming my fist down onto this buzzer, because little do I know, I got stuck with the bad buzzer. There was a moment that happened a little later where they're like, okay, we're gonna stop filming for a moment, we're gonna try to fix this buzzer issue. And so they had me like slam my fist down on this buzzer as hard as I could. There was no register. Tap it as lightly as I could. There was no register. Trying to hit it at all these different pressures, and it wasn't registering at all. So they had to disconnect the system and reboot it essentially. And even then, it was like reading 50% of the times that I'd hit it. So it's kind of like a luck of the draw sort of thing at that point. But during this, it's not registering my buzzer hits, and that's why I'm kind of like just like, what is this? With my hands. Kind of just like, what's going on here? My buzzer, it's not working. So yeah, if I go back, the reason I'm standing here like a dope is because this right here, this shot,
this iconic series.
yeah, that shot right there of her hitting the buzzer was actually a reshoot. Because at the end of this portion, they're like, okay, let's get some close-up shots of you guys hitting the buzzer. So I'm just standing there because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be in the frame of her shot or anything like that whenever she hits the buzzer. So I'm just standing there. Yeah, so like me holding my hand up as if I'm like waiting to buzz in or something, and she hits the buzzer. They said that was to make it look like a little bit like competition. She had some shots that were like that too, where it's like, oh, she was just too slow to hit the buzzer or something. Because we played through this normally at first until they rebooted the board, and then we continued to play again. And then afterwards they got the reshoots in for like the close-ups and stuff like that to make it look a little bit tighter in editing. But yeah, that's why I miss it. And then my reaction right afterwards.
Katie!
My buzzer didn't go off. That's what my reaction is right there. And I think the reason they used a lot of her hitting the buzzer or reshoots is because a lot of the producers, whenever they stopped us, they're like, we're dead certain that he's hitting the buzzer first. I guess if they're using all of her reshoots, I was hitting the button first. But yeah, it was just a little bit of a hectic fiasco trying to get these buzzer questions in for me. It was it was something. I fucking love my reaction right there. I'm getting a little bit discouraged at this point. I'm thinking there's okay, I'm starting to lose my chance to even win, but I'm hoping there's a chance for me to bounce back.
I'm gonna sing a song, and you're gonna finish the lyric. Here we go. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants, absorbent and...
See, that was another reshoot right there.
Yellow and porous is he.
Yellow and porous is he is correct.
My freaking reaction to all of these, man. I don't know if you can see it, but my heart was just like sinking lower and lower. I'm like, I know all these answers, okay? Like, I think this is the next one that was about Betty White, if I remember.
We're gonna be playing a game called Sea Star
Yeah,
Power.
okay, I knew this
You're
one.
gonna have to identify the celebrity guest star based on this clue. Here we go. This actress is always golden, especially when playing Pearl's boss.
The second he said golden, I knew he was talking about Betty White, you know, Golden Girls and whatnot. And I was so determined to at least get this question right here. And I think this was the last one that we did before they decided to reboot the system.
In the episode,
but I missed this one too.
Pearl. Katie.
Betty White.
Absolutely right.
And I swear, I'm not bullshitting you guys just to be like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. I promised I wasn't like sucking in this or anything. Like, the buzzer genuinely was not working. And I'm pretty certain it was between these two that they finally rebooted the system, and I was finally able to get some buzzes to register at least. Like I said, it was like a 50-50 chance whenever we were testing it. It was still pretty iffy, so there was no guarantee I was gonna get anything at this point.
What colorful concoction does SpongeBob make and sell himself? Christian! Pretty Patties.
I finally got one right there.
Pretty Patties is correct!
You can even see Krusty, I just noticed this, you can see Krusty Carol's reaction.
Christian! Pretty Patties.
I finally got the opportunity to buzz in and answer at least. That was my reaction right there too.
What is the name of Patrick's sister? Christian. Sam.
That f***ing reaction, man. I tried to be reassuring for myself, but deep down inside, I think you can see it in my eyes, I was like, there's no way. I'm gonna continue on with this. You can just see the look of doubt in my eyes right there. All right, let's continue. All right.
Whoa.
So this portion was like the final Jeopardy, essentially.
It's time for the Flying Dutchman's wager. Katie, you have 450 points.
What a champ.
Christian, you have 200 points. Oh, yeah. All right, contestants, place your wagers now. While they're placing their bets, I'm gonna practice my bubble blowing.
I will say my biggest issue with this video is that he forgets to land on his right foot. He goofs up the most essential step right there. But it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. You know, he was cool. So, you know, his personality made up for the fact that he improperly blew a bubble. And that's probably why he doesn't really get any bubbles out right here, is because he didn't land on that right foot or even bother to bring it around town. But, you know, there's always opportunity to correct yourself later on down the road. So I have confidence that he'll eventually get that technique down.
Bye, we don't need you anymore.
Oh, Krusty Carol.
Don't mean to hurt you.
It's okay, Krusty Carol. You can't hurt me as much as my past loves have. You'll always have a special place in my heart. Let's see how disappointed I was that she was leaving right there. My best friend in the whole world.
In 15 seconds, I want you to name as many SpongeBob characters as you know.
Seems simple
Katie,
enough.
Since you're in the lead, you have the choice to go first or second. Which will it be?
I'll go first.
All right.
She's confident. She's ready. She knows that she's going to win this, and she knows that there's no way in hell I could possibly bounce back.
Krusty Carol, need your assistance again.
You got it.
There was a great
Krusty
joke I wish they kept from
has
this.
these sound-canceling headphones she's gonna put on Christian here, so he can't hear anything. All right, Katie, ready?
There was a joke that I made about like, oh, is this your personal mixtape? Oh, dude, it's so fire. Just trying to joke around with her. She was going back and forth with the two. She was fun.
Plankton, SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Pearl, Mrs. Puff, Fred, Shooby, Evelyn, all the Wretcheds.
Stop! Oh, Krusty Carol!
I'm just vibing in the background. Goodness.
Pause. No
But it
more.
was in the middle of the best part.
They were just playing the SpongeBob theme song on loop right there. Super duper loud, so, you know, that was fun. I only suffer from partial hearing loss because of it, but that's okay, you know? What better sound to lose your hearing from?
Go!
SpongeBob, Patrick, Old Man
All right,
Jenkins,
am I gonna make
Squidward,
it?
Mr. Krabs,
She got
Plankton,
10.
Gary, Sandy, Larry the Lobster, the Mayor of Bikini Bottom, Plankton, Mama Squidward.
A freaking 4-second long stutter, Jesus Christ. Oh man. I cringe at me.
Katie, you wagered
100 points.
Christian, you wagered 199 points.
Good God, so my idea behind this, whatever I was wagering, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna win. There's no way at all. Okay, so I decided I was going to lay it all down on the line. All right, I was gonna sacrifice just about everything, except I wasn't gonna go home empty-handed. I figured I was going to bet everything except 1 point, because obviously if you lose the challenge, you lose that amount of points. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go home with at least 1 point from this, and this fucking happened.
Christian, 199 points have been added to your score.
I don't know how this happened. I've got no freaking clue on how I just bullshit my way to victory, essentially. I did this as a complete joke. I had no confidence that I was going to win. I was dead certain, I'm sure Katie was dead certain too, that she was going to make it to that final round for the chance to win the elusive golden pineapple. That was the trophy that they were giving out.
Due to 399 points. Katie, you lose 100 points, bringing you down to 350 points. Katie.
What a f***ing fluke.
You said all the wretches, but we needed specific names. Meaning, Christian, you are making it to the final round. Congratulations! Yeah!
So that I did that as a reference to the SpongeBob movie where SpongeBob thinks that he got the manager promotion for the Krusty Krab 2. And right after doing that, I kind of felt bad because I was like, I don't want that to come off as the wrong way if like no one realizes that was what I was going for. So I was like, can we reshoot that? And so we did, but they didn't use the other take, unfortunately, which was a lot more tame. I did more of like I promised myself I wouldn't cry sort of thing. And I guess they went for that because it was the bigger reaction. But I kind of felt like an asshole that I did that. My intentions weren't that. I was just trying to quote the thing. And I'm sure some people will recognize that, but I also feel like a lot of other people would misconstrue that as me just being a dick.
Christian, you are one step closer to winning the golden pineapple!
That's all I was put on this earth to do.
But first,
there was a darker joke that I made that was like, oh, maybe my parents will finally love me if I bring this home.
can you survive the Chum Bucket Challenge?
The Chum Bucket.
And you're one step closer to the golden pineapple.
You guys think I got the golden pineapple? I mean, my luck's been pretty bad right here, but things are starting to look on the bright side. You know, before we get into this this final portion, I'd like to just take a drink of my drink because I'm quite parched. My Arizona green tea. Hashtag not sponsored, but should be sponsored. Oh yeah, that's good. That hit the spot. Oh man. Ah boy. Okay, I think my thirst is quenched. Let's continue on with this.
First, can you survive the Chum Bucket? Carol, bring out the chum.
All right, so this thing was a monster and a half. This thing was so nasty.
A series of 7 SpongeBob trivia questions.
Of course, I'm just overreacting because I'm just trying to be theatrical with it all and everything and make it entertaining and whatnot. But that thing was genuinely gross. You'll see in a second.
Golden pineapple is yours.
Okay, 7 questions to answer, 5 to win. Should be simple.
But if you get 3 wrong, well, you get chummed.
So, this was like a mixture of dog food, cocoa powder, some light food coloring to give it that pinkish tinge that it's got, and a couple other things I don't exactly quite remember. I think some soda was mixed in there too. But this thing was just a nightmare. It smelled very heavily like dog food, so it wasn't like the grossest thing in the entire world, but it just looked nasty. And it was actually fun because this particular shot was shot right after our episode wrapped up, because obviously you're not going to ruin the costume that that guava juice was wearing in the middle of your production, essentially. And so it was fun to watch them dump the Chum Bucket mix on him. There was a lot of footage that they cut out where he's just like lathering himself up in this stuff. It was absolutely gross. He was like trying to make like chum angels, I guess, while he was on his stomach. He was in the little kiddie pool just sloshing that all around. So that was pretty fun.
When teaching Patrick how to blow a bubble, what foot does SpongeBob say he needs to stop on and not forget it?
It's like we just talked about this.
Stop on your right foot, don't forget it!
I'm gonna hear a tiny little bit of my YouTube SpongeBob Ethan Slater inspired voice poke out there at the end.
Right foot is right!
Thank God it's not left.
What is in Patrick's secret box?
It is a string that opens a secret compartment that leads to a secret photo of SpongeBob at the Christmas party.
A string that leads to a secret photo of SpongeBob at a Christmas party is correct!
Look at me go, man! I am unstoppable.
Prepared for this next question. In the episode SpongeBob Meets a Strangler, SpongeBob bumps into the Tattletale Strangler, who's in disguise. What is the disguise and how much did it cost?
No, it's actually funny. Like I said, I didn't study for this or anything, but right before I left, I was looking for other episodes to potentially recreate for the channel. As I've mentioned, the Club SpongeBob was only supposed to be like a one and done project, but it was getting such a great reaction that I was like, okay, maybe I should make another episode. So I was kind of on Amazon Prime just looking through different episodes, and the Tattletale Strangler episode was one of them. So I literally, that was one of the last things that I had watched before flying out to New York. So like the answer was like somewhat in my mind, but there was a detail, like it's a detail I know I saw, but I couldn't quite remember what it was. So this one did stump me a bit.
The disguise was for sure a mustache. I'm gonna guess $3.
Is that your final answer, Christian?
$1.99.
I got this wrong. Spoiler alert. I'm pretty certain it was 5 cents because that number was ingrained into my mind after this. I'm dead certain that's what it was.
My fake mustache for $1.99.
Final answer?
That's the final answer.
$1.99, final answer.
Yep.
Is incorrect.
Nope.
Yes! All right!
The correct answer is mustache, but it was for 5 cents.
Yeah, 5 cents. See, I told you, after I got it wrong, it was ingrained into my mind. I learned from my mistakes.
In the episode The Great Snail Race, Squidward adopts a pet snail. What is the name of that snail?
Snaily. She's a purebred.
Incorrect.
I was so confident in that answer too. Like, I've always heard it as snaily. Like, it never registered in my brain that it was snelly.
The correct answer is Snelly. Oh, all right, question.
But you know, I bounced back at the end from nothing, so maybe it's gonna work out here. Or maybe I'll just f everything up and, you know, not win.
5. What is the name of the virus SpongeBob gets and
Easy, coronavirus.
Patrick tries to heal him of?
Suds.
The suds is correct. Remember, one incorrect answer, you get chummed. What does Patrick do when he has problems?
Scream!
That's right.
Screams is correct.
I do the same thing too every now and then.
What is the name of the actress who voices Sandy Cheeks?
So this question was like either I win it all or I lose it all right? So this was the question that everything hinged upon. Do I get it? Do I fail miserably, or do I rise above the occasion like I did in the last round and I snag the golden pineapple for myself?
Lily Cooper in the SpongeBob SquarePants musical.
Yeah, so I totally brain farted. I could not remember what Caroline Lawrence's name was. And again, after this, it was ingrained in my memory. I was pretty certain it was Lawrence, but I couldn't remember the first name. And I knew if I could remember the first name, I would have, like the rest of it just would have clicked and I would have gotten it. But that first name just wasn't popping into my head. All that popped up with Lawrence was Doug Lawrence, who does the voice of Plankton. But I was like, no, that's obviously not him. And I just couldn't remember Caroline for the life of me. It was just a total brain fart moment. And so I was like, I gotta get some answer out. And they gave me a little bit more time than what they show here. But it was still like a pretty tight time limit. And so that Lily Cooper is what I spouted out as an answer. Because I didn't want to like not say anything. So, yeah.
Answer is
Caroline Lawrence. The suspense is killing me. I know I lost.
Carolyn Lawrence.
New last name.
You know what that means? Krusty Carol released.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. It was so cold.
Yes.
That's right. I feel like a dog just threw up on me.
Hey, you know what? You're not gonna be going home empty-handed because you're gonna win this one-of-a-kind SpongeBob prize. What?
Oh
I have it
yeah.
right here. It's a Krabby Patty.
I still have this too. I still have it in my room. I washed it thoroughly from all the dog food slop that had dripped onto it, but I do have it. It's in my room.
Buy one, get one full price. Remember that, okay?
I'll take advantage of that killer deal.
Hell yeah, I did.
Join us next time.
So yeah, that was my episode of SpongeBob Smarty Pants, my opportunity to film with Nickelodeon. Even though I didn't win the final challenge, they still gave me the golden pineapple, which is in my Baskin-Robbins bag from that trip. So reason why I said Baskin Robbins bag. For one thing, it's super duper glittery. Very glittery, but here it is. Oh God, it's already flaking all over the place, all over my pants. But I did get the golden pineapple. I still got it at the very end. And it's not like they gave it to me for like a, participation award or anything. They gave it to me because they're like, oh, well, you were a good sport with the buzzer crapping out on you, essentially. My mom grabbed a little Baskin Robbins baggie and she stuffed it in there so that way it wouldn't flake all over the place and I can put it in my backpack without it getting all over everything else. Because glitter is essentially the herpes of the arts and crafts supplies, and it's the worst. But it's still something that I treasure, and it's still something that I appreciate. But yeah, it's that was my shoot with Nickelodeon. It was an absolute blast. I really wish that there was some way I could have access to the footage that they ultimately cut from the episode. Because again, we shot for like 2.5 hours or around there, and the video's only 10 minutes long. So there's a lot of footage that didn't make the cut. Glad I had the opportunity to take part in that. And I'm glad they wanted me to be a part of the program in the first place. I didn't think that tweeting my video to them would have gotten me anywhere. I was just totally hoping that I'd get a couple extra, like maybe 20 views or so. At the most. I really didn't think it would have went much farther than that, but I'm pleasantly surprised that I had that opportunity. It was an all-around blast and something that I will genuinely treasure for a long time. I can't tell you how much I was geeking out just walking onto the set and just seeing all those cameras and just getting to talk to all the cameramen and the producers and everything about like how like all the production works, and like actually getting to see a small scale production work firsthand. That was like my biggest takeaway from the whole thing, was just being able to see like how everything operated and stuff. It was so cool. We even got to see a couple of MTV shows being filmed at the studio, a couple levels above us, from wherever they brought us, from the waiting room down to the shooting studio. So that was also really cool. Just a really neat experience overall. I know I keep saying it, but like it's just mind-boggling to me that any of this even happened. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. And just thank you to all 5,500 of you guys for subscribing. That's just absolutely bonkers that we've grown so much in just under 2 weeks. You guys have been absolutely supportive. Again, I want to give that shout out to Beatrix for sending that wonderful, wonderful comment. Really meant a lot to me, and a lot of your guys' responses mean a lot to me as well. I know I don't get the opportunity to reply to every single comment, but I do try to read all of them, and I try to show that I read it by leaving a heart on the comment. So I do try to see what you guys have to say about the channel and everything like that. So don't think that your guys' opinions or voices going unheard, because I do try to make the effort to read every single little comment that I can. You know what? Before I make it big with my billions of subscribers in the future, you know. No, I'm kidding. I'm always gonna love you guys, and you're always gonna mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate you guys just subscribing and following along for this journey of mine. It's just nuts that so many of you guys are aboard the C train now. Yeah. I just speechless from you guys. You guys are the best. You know, it's really hard to put words in, to convey how grateful I am for the opportunity that you guys are all presenting me with. It's just crazy. All the support has just been outstanding, and we're only making more of these videos because you guys have appreciated them so much. So yeah, I should have the next episode remake within a couple of weeks, and again, at the end of that video, after the credits, at the title card, we are going to announce the winner of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you haven't entered that, be sure to check out that last upload and read the description or the pinned comments, or just watch the video. It'll all explain to you how you can enter in the giveaway. Really easy. You can still have a chance to win the customized SpongeBob Funko Pop from yours truly, as well as a copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated on a platform of your choosing. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, you guys. You are all the absolute best, and I love each and every single one of you 5,500 beautiful faces. Like, comment, subscribe, bye!